years to push them back, but we did. What was once a prosperous river trade, the Mississippi, is now the front line. The eastern states supply the river states, and what's left of the UA live out their meager days self-policing. What is the West hiding? Nobody really knows for sure. But we're alive, and this is the new frontier.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to We're Alive Frontier. Last episode, we had a incident that came about as a result of, well, an unfortunate encounter with the infected. Going through the streets of Eureka, a wild pack of prairie dogs stumbled across the rail driver that was barreling through the flatlands outside of the western part of St. Louis. And it has come to the attention of both Band-Aid and Stingray that, though minimal, exposure has been brought to Asher with infected blood, making him infected. So, we pick up our episode now with the rail driver continuing to move.
Correct.
As our team meets inside of the rail car around Asher.
All right, Ray, I need you to get the good med kit out.
Got it.
So go ahead and grab the supplies.
Yeah.
Asher, I need you to keep calm, okay?
I feel fine.
Okay, so this leg is done. We're gonna have to
Excuse
take
me?
It's either that or become infected. It hasn't spread all the way up.
I don't think any got in me. I feel fine.
Trust me. Listen, man, we're racing against the clock, okay?
Here's the kit.
Thank you. I know that we've had our disagreements, but you're just gonna have to trust me on this one, okay?
Fuck.
You're gonna survive. We just need to take the leg. I can cauterize the wound. It'll be fine.
Okay, fine. Fuck.
So Band-Aid, you put Asher up on top of a gurney and you start pulling out the advanced medical kit, which has pretty much everything you need for this kind of procedure.
Ray, can you set up the anesthesia?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do this.
Do I get a tourniquet or something? Are we just gonna let
I'm
this
gonna set up
go?
the tourniquet.
Yeah.
Just hold on a second, okay? Go ahead and set up with the anesthesia. I'll start working on the tourniquet. Hey, thanks for your medical advice, by the way. Good job. So I'll start doing that. I'll take the tourniquet around the leg.
I wanna walk over with one of the Molotovs and I pull it out and I give it to you and goes, "This is gonna hurt, buddy. You're gonna need this, but you earned it."
Do you want some on it, too?
It's not gonna feel good and it's not gonna help, so
I already don't feel good.
great.
So-
This might help then.
Great.
Drinking it.
We've applied a tourniquet and you would like to proceed with this. How would you like to apply the anesthesia?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
We've
That's
got.
what we got.
Okay. Go ahead and start. So this is gonna make you feel weird, and it's gonna put you under.
Asher, is there anything you want to say before you go under?
Just don't fuck it up, please.
I'll try my best.
Okay.
Hold on. Ray, I'm gonna need you to step aside, and I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Band-Aid, as you push anesthesia into Asher's system, and as you continue to push the anesthesia into his system, you go clearly above the recommended dose that would need in order to put somebody under. You feel a sluggish, dark, heavy feeling come about you, and you slowly start to feel your heart drain as you die. Asher, Vince Casso, friend of mine, good human being. I so appreciate you taking the time to play this game with us. Survival horror sucks so much. And I love everything about what you're doing with this. And I want to at least have you know that I'm giving this, our first Black Raven of the game, to you for playing, and I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the table.
Been fun, guys.
Sorry. I'm going to leave the Raven there for you to hold your space, and then I'll bring it to you soon. his body lies still.
Wraith, throw something on. Wraith, tell Jenny we need to stop.
All right. So Wraith walks into the front carriage and goes, Jenny, Asher is gone.
What?
He's gone. He was infected. We had to give him peace. But we also have to burn his body now. And so we need to stop.
I put on the brake.
The squealing of the wheels pierces the silence that is living inside of the sleeper car at the moment as the rail driver comes to a slow and gradual stop. You find yourself sitting in a vast open prairie land.
We gotta get moving.
Yeah, we gotta go.
All right. So we need.
I took off all my crap over there and just took off everything that was covered in blood
Yeah.
and put it over there.
Good.
Toss these in with it.
Yeah, everything, we need to get everything out, and we need to get everything that he had or made contact with the blood with out.
On it.
And then including the needle that we used for the anesthesia.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm cleaning my sword at this point. Yeah.
Jenny, we could use some help bringing stuff out.
Yeah.
Give me one of those Molotov cocktails.
Right. So, describe to me how you would like to build this funeral pyre.
Wraith, you're the expert.
Yeah. I gather some of the wood that we were using for the that's already prepped that we were using for the rail driver, just to make a base, like a small base, and I lay out the I lay them kind of overlapped in a way that's like a Viking pyre, like a boat, basically like the shape of a boat, and then I pile his gear and stuff like that on top of it.
All of his gear?
No, just what's ever covered in whatever.
The stuff with the blood on it.
Whatever has got
All right.
blood on it.
And I pour some of the remaining moonshine from the bottle I gave him, and then are we bringing his body out now too? Mm-hmm. So, okay. So I'll need somebody's help with that.
Yeah, I think Jenny and I can take care of it. So we'll carefully bring out the body, avoiding blood from the infected, and carry it out to the pyre and set it on top.
Mm-hmm.
All right. To those who served and to those who made the UA safe, you commit this body to the pyre, and so that others may not suffer, you burn his body. And you see as the smoke fills the prairie lands with dark, acrid ash, as his body provides a gentle, illuminating glow in the final part of what this day has brought. At this stage, you're coming pretty close to the sun setting, and it is not too poetic to say that as the sun sets on this day, so does his life, as his body is burnt into the night air.
I didn't hate him. Just wanted to make that clear.
We know.
He was so young, and he shouldn't be out here.
He gave his life gloriously. He will live forever.
I shouldn't have been so hard on him. I just wanted him to toughen up so he could make it, but he was... he was a stubborn little bastard.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, right?
We should get going.
Where are we going?
We're gonna keep moving, right?
Why?
No, we can't go back.
Where are we going to?
Let's get this thing started in case those motherfuckers that got him
All right.
are hot on our tail, and we can figure that out, can't we?
Okay. You're right.
There is the one concern of the back of the rail driver.
Yeah, I want to take Jenny aside and say, I don't know much about fixing metal things.
I can do it.
I'll help you.
Can you do it while we're moving?
Can you drive?
I can try.
I don't know, is that wise?
I can
don't know, maybe-
watch it. If it's a straight shot, there won't be a lot of...
The issue is that it's the back of the rail driver.
Yeah.
You would have to be moving at a pretty walking pace just to be able to work on it and still move.
Well, then we
So,
better work on it right away to get it closed at the very least.
Well, hold on. I mean, Is there some way we can rig it for now till we can do a better repair? I mean, moving is probably the biggest priority, I'm
Especially because
Yeah.
we just set off a flare in the middle of the,
No
of
kidding.
the field.
Good point.
I mean, we could board it up with some wood.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
That doesn't take much time. In fact, most of it's just about putting the wood against the back of the rail driver
Yeah.
and applying a few tough nails inside of it, since it is toughened steel. All right? But at least the light and the smoke aren't coming inside of the rail driver.
I'd actually like to take the radio
The radio's in the rail driver.
that he was using.
That he was
Wasn't
using.
it a handheld?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
it's a ham radio.
Oh, ham radio.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the one he
It's like
called
a
back
CB.
Colonel Yackley on.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I want to look through his pack and look for anything that tells us more about him or about where we're going, about anything.
So digging through Asher's personal effects, you find a lot of his gear, a lot of particular material, but no real papers or orders or anything. In fact, the only thing you remember him actually holding on to that was one of his personal effects was his comb, which is now in the pyre with everything else. Now, there was the satellite phone that he
Yes.
was talking with Yackley with.
Yep.
So that is
Okay.
still around.
I'm going to seek that out right away.
Great.
We never saw him writing. We never saw him.
When he was discussing with Archtown, he essentially was up on his own discussing whatever needed be. So there isn't any official paperwork beyond the permits that you all needed in order to cross the river.
Okay, so I'm just going to go in there. Hey, Jenny, I'm going to talk to everybody else too, but I'm going to radio in and check in with this Colonel Yackley just to kind of get a vote. You're voting that we continue with the mission?
Before you call, we must make decisions, important decisions.
Sure, but I'm just checking in with Jenny first to get your opinions. Because you won't be able to be at the meeting. You're driving. Eyes on the road.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go meet. Let us know if anything comes up.
I will.
Great.
So,
So
back
you
in-
three all meet inside of the sleeper car.
Yeah.
Then, what is this mission? What are we doing?
Well, we're still going to Livingston, right?
We're going to Kansas City. And I think the goal was to connect the
We're-
Livingston community to Kansas City.
We're
in this
still going to
trade.
find the Livingston community, right?
I'm feeling like you have some personal attachment to this.
Look, this kid just died
know.
because something happened. You think I don't care about that?
No,
Look, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We're still going, right?
that's what we're trying to figure out.
Well, I say yes.
Okay.
So who is leader now? Are you leader, Ray? Are you Jenny?
I know this is going to sound crazy, but with our background, the three of us, it's probably best if Jenny's the one doing the leading.
Yeah, I agree.
We work great as a team, but we need someone, no pun intended, driving the train.
I can't go back to the way I was before. Whatever you decide, I'll stay with you too.
All right. So I guess we're moving forward. The next thing is that we have to call in Yackley because we need their supplies, we need their support, and we need to continue this charade of a mission.
Were they supposed to provide us with more supplies or something along the way? I don't think that was a thing, was it?
I heard them mention that they were able to get within 125 miles. Are we still within that by helicopter?
You can check in. There's a GPS on the satellite phone, but I don't think you'll be able to figure that out from just using the phone.
Or the map?
If you want to use the map, if you want to take some time to look at the map,
Yeah.
Also, if we can take the driver off the rails and hide it, I can resupply us with food and we can filter more water, but it takes time. It would need to be somewhere safe or at least secret.
and at this point, we should probably discuss food and water a little bit. For all of you, in order to have a single day of food, it costs 1 survival point. So you're at 3 days at this stage of rations. So that would be 3 survival points.
And not only do we have 56,
You have 156.
156 there, and
Except Asher's death. We need to resolve that with survival points.
hit me.
You got 50. So that's
we
going to
have-
take you down to 106.
Okay. We're still okay.
And 3 a day, you said? Or 3?
1 a day.
1 a day.
From the rail driver, I will take additional, just 3.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
There will be a capacity, but you're nowhere close that I need to roll for capacity yet.
All right, let me coordinate with the GPS and the map and see if we're still within the 125 mile.
All right. So the challenge of triangulating and using old school navigation tactics, good news is that you've got a fairly good map, and the satellite phone can give you a GPS coordinate after checking the manual for a brief time. So it's getting late. It's definitely, the sun has set, and you're probably estimating it's a little before 10 o'clock before you finally figure it out by the light of the kerosene lamp as it's swinging with the occasional movement. And even though the rail driver is moving at a steady pace, you triangulate that you're about just barely outside of the reach. Like about 130, actually about like 10 miles. Like we're talking 10 or 15 miles.
Okay.
You know, 150 miles out from St. Louis, which puts you right about here-ish.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're too far out for air support. It's not worth going back whatsoever because even then we'd be on the fringes of communication. I like your idea on stopping and maybe taking the rail driver off the rails for a bit. Maybe resupplying by what we can find.
We'll have to ask Jenny how long it takes to change from one mode to the other.
Yeah. Can you go do that?
So I'll go get her, and I come in and like, Jenny, we're talking about what we want to do next, and we've made some decisions, but we need you to help us with the others.
You turn away for 2 seconds.
Damn.
You start to look outside, and actually, Wraith, for the first time you see, there's actually a crackle of lightning as it comes across the side of the now darkened skyline. As you can hear the rolling thunder kind of rumble the rail driver at this stage. And you can start to smell the moisture and the ozone in the air as you can feel something is coming.
Do we want to move faster and try to outrun this storm?
Before I was
Batten down
interrupted
the
by
hatches.
Thor's fury, we were going to ask you to be our leader.
You sure about that?
You've done it before.
All right. All right. Yeah. I'm going to be leaning on you guys.
Oh, we expect you to. We just need you to drive the train, right? Speaking of which, do we go faster? What are we looking at? How fast can we get out of here?
We'll keep it at 35, get through this storm, and then we'll worry about restocking on food.
Here's an important question. Are you turning on the lights?
There's lightning going on, right? There's...
Can we lower the amount of light so that there's...
It's on or off.
dimmer.
On or off. No
Okay.
dimmer switch on the train, sorry.
On it is.
I suppose we could take shifts.
Yeah. I'm going to drive this thing for a bit. So,
Yeah?
yes, please, sleep.
Well,
Right.
I'll try.
Okay.
I'll stay up to for now. And then, I'll take a later shift or something. to a later sleeping shift, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So as you continue to drive through, you make great time, Jenny. As far as covering distance goes, several hours pass, and the company of Wraith is only punctuated by the occasional rolling thunder and lightning that you hear across the plains as you watch as shadows and silhouettes of old buildings and trees and other various parts of the skyline just break apart the moonlight every once in a while. As you drive until around 3 o'clock in the morning-ish or so, it's the first time that you see something in front of the rail driver. And the lights, which give you a good, because it takes some time to stop the train, so it needs to see pretty far. But in the punctuating night, you can see in front of you is a large semi-truck that just seems to have placed completely obstructing the rail line. And as the light bounces off of the side of this large vehicle, you can start to see that it's illuminating parts of a small town, but completely ruined and burnt out. You can kind of see jagged edges of wall and rubble, and there's even the glisten of some overturned cars and just piles of machinery just laid out. And the semi is very much obstructing the rail line at this point.
Stop.
I'm pulling the brake. I'm pulling the brake. I'm just.
I'm asleep, but my brain is saying stop.
I also shut off. I shut off the light. I shut off the
lights.
light.
So as you
and
turn
I
off
stop
the lights,
as fast as I can.
Great. So you break it, and you are all, you two at least, are awoken suddenly from the kind of jolting that a sudden braking would bring about in the train. And at that moment, you can start to hear the of the rain start to pitter-patter right down on top of the rail driver. And at this point, it seems like the thick droplets are just the beginning of what this storm is going to bring. Oh, also, I should probably tell you that I'm spending quite a bit of risk from 21, which is what I had, down to 16. 5 risk to bring the storm upon you.
I'm gonna rush up. Why
Yeah,
do we
both
stop?
rushed down. What happened?
Yeah.
There's a semi truck blocking the tracks, and I just have a really bad feeling about all of this.
So as you pull the rail driver up to what appears to be a large semi-truck, you can basically see it. It's on the side closest to me, next to this 4-story large building that seems to have had, and you can tell this right before you turned off the front lights of the rail driver, but there's large blades glistening in the top of this building, in which it appears like a helicopter has just barreled right into it. And it's so precariously poised with its tail broken that it seems to be dangling over a large part of the street that is really the area in front of you. Now, this isn't uncommon for a lot of destroyed cities. In fact, this stuff appears to be so old that this stuff has likely been around since the war, even. And you can see as moss is dangling off of parts of the helicopter as, well, really, it seems to be pretty locked. So,
Where exactly, can you
Yeah, I was
show us
gonna
where
clarify.
exactly that truck is crossing and where we are trying to get?
So, the rail runs from this way to this way,
Okay.
all across this length of the board.
Okay.
Your
That's
Bus.
the semi is essentially.
your semi is basically sitting right along the rails here. So, part of it is coming along this side of the building here.
Okay.
Okay.
But the actual trailer part itself is taking up most of the rail.
Okay.
Okay. There is some, just from what you can tell here, there is some signs that maybe there was survivors here at one point, because you can see some old barricaded windows as well as some barbed wire that is essentially making up a part of not necessarily that building, but all of the cars clearly look like they've been looted or tipped over or taken apart at some point for scrap. And a lot of the things that isn't on this diorama is essentially a lot of the scrap metal that you see is clearly the result of scavengers taking apart whatever metal they can get. So yes,
So here we
Uh,
And
are.
it's about 3 a.m. It's still dark out.
dark as night
Raining.
and pouring rain.
Here, Jenny, let me give these back to you. I got to get me one of those. Can we? Is the crow's nest still a viable thing? I mean, even though it's pouring.
Yeah, the good news is that it's designed well enough that water's not leaking in
Okay.
from your pillbox, but it is still just that, a kind of a pier hole at this moment.
Right. Still not a bad idea to throw a tarp up there super fast, but I think we'll probably need to focus on what's up ahead.
Yeah,
So you've stopped
Yeah.
the rail driver,
And the lights
Yeah.
are off.
probably about 50 feet or so before you actually got to the bus.
So we're near like that corner, basically, right? This
A little
far corner
closer
here?
than that, I'd
Okay.
say. You're probably at where the edge of the building is.
Oh, okay.
That's farthest from me.
Okay.
Which means that you're sitting right where that road crossing would be.
Okay.
Got it.
We need to look and listen before we make any choices.
Agreed.
This rain sucks.
Yeah.
Well, one of us at least should go up top and see if we can get any kind of better.
You.
He watches sparse parts of lightning come out.
I can go and take a look up there. So I'll take my binoculars.
What's your spot check?
Spot listens 53.
That's probably better than mine. Yes, it is. Go.
So I'm sensing the shadows of a plan here a little bit.
Yes.
So
Well, yeah.
would you like to put the plan up on the board for me?
Could we do a spot first to get a general?
I think the spot would be, unless that's just something you want to do before laying the plan out and no one else wants to do anything else,
Yeah.
I think we're all waiting to see because we don't really know what's.
We don't really have any information.
then by all means.
Okay.
Are you going outside or are you peering
No,
through the pill box?
through the pillbox with the binoculars.
Great.
We should grab a tarp from one of the survival kits. I'm going to grab the flashbang grenade and the emergency radio from Asher's kit.
What's the tarp for?
Tarp for the back.
It's already covered.
It's already
right?
covered.
He said it's not waterproof.
Well, at this point, I'm kind of taking that as a cue that you are going to cover the back
Oh, okay.
of it. So I'm assuming it's not applied yet. You're just pulling the tarp out.
Okay.
Got it.
That still needs to be part of any plan since
Sure.
you've just talked about
Hence.
it.
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
maybe we can
Yes.
make that happen now.
So you would like to just look and listen before any plans formulated?
Correct.
Go for it. Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry. Take 2 difficulty dice because of the darkness and the rain, please.
Fair.
Yep. Exploding.
5, 9. Oh,
Another
that's
one.
14,
Heavy rain.
Again.
It's okay, someone else can go.
19, 21.
On top of.
21 on top of 38. That's
All right,
what?
so
40,
59.
59, yeah.
So I got a 59. My score is 53. So just flat 0.
0 degrees of failure.
Right.
So at this point, your eyes are adjusted to the inside of the rail driver and you're peering out with binoculars into literally the black of night, and you don't even have the benefit for the time of which you're looking to get a lightning flash to be able to show you anything. All you can basically see is darkness and what little starlight can come through the clouds that's basically showing you shapes. It's dark.
Hey guys, it's raining and dark. Just to let you know.
Wraith, can you get another look? You're better. I think you got your spot listens better than the rest of us.
Listen, the last time he used my binoculars, he got his makeup on it, and I don't want that to happen. Just so that we're clear.
Panties in a bunch. Let him do it. We'll put your big girl ones on later.
Okay.
I mean, I have a 41 normally, but I do have a training value for reconnaissance gear.
Awesome.
So
If you wanted to do that, you would probably have to get a better vantage point that's not in the rail driver at this stage, because whatever Band-Aid, whatever, had not seen at this point, in order for you to
Okay.
basically get to do it again, you'd have to reposition.
does that hatch
Up
let me
there.
get up on the outside of the rail driver?
Let you get on top of the rail driver, yes.
Okay, I can do that.
All right. So describe
Actually,
to me.
can I make a listen first before I open the hatch?
Rain.
Rain.
Just rain. Okay.
Not to be confused with fingers.
Yeah. Yeah. Not fingers of the one dude who's waiting for me right after I open the hatch.
I would have seen someone on the top, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, right there. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna delicately lift up the hatch and poke around. Do I have his binoculars? Right. Those give me a multiplier.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, you-
time, or it's plus 1 degree of success on
Okay.
spot listen check, which I didn't do. That's fine.
All right. So I'm gonna put my hood up because don't want to get too rained on out there.
Okay.
All right. And then I gently, quietly open the hatch.
So as you gently, quietly open the hatch and peer yourself out with the binoculars, you kind of stand up on the rails as you're looking forward. And now that the hatch is open, it's raining a lot more than what you even heard of outside. It's just you're getting slapped down, and within a few seconds, your hood is completely soaked.
Okay.
You look through a bit, and you can clearly see, not too far in front of you is a large recycling vehicle.
Okay.
Big, giant, kind of 2 long garbage truck that seems to, for all intents and purposes, be closed, at least as from what you can tell. There seems to be a completely leveled gas station that's to your left, but ironically, the sign is still up, displaying the pre-war prices of what gas were before all of this happened.
$319 for regular? It's not bad.
You can also see a lot of the jagged, burnt-out buildings that I described previously. Now, whether they were burnt out or they just simply caved in after ages and ages of misuse and decrepit infrastructure, it's hard to tell.
Okay.
But most of them seem to be brick and or old wood.
All right. I want to lift up the binoculars and do a scan, like a pan, starting on this side.
Right.
And then slowly moving across, and then trying to get to stop where the semi is in front of us.
Right.
And I'm very specifically looking for any sort of movement.
Right.
Or anything that looks, especially once I get to when I'm looking at any vehicles or the building itself, anything that's looks like sort of like biological.
Right.
You know, like.
You're looking for the signs of anything that could be living or infected. So what I can tell you as far as what you can smell goes is that the rain is doing a lot to dullen anything that you might be able to pick up in the wind. But even that, the infected are very pungent. And you probably would have smelled something if you were on top of a hive, at the very least. Really, you just smell old building, vegetation, and rain at this stage. It's very quiet and very dark.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing any movement anywhere. Where did I see that?
You watched it as something small, very small. Seemed to have come across one of the windows there.
On the building?
On the not the building that's closest to me, but the farthest one.
Far side of the building. That's
All the way over there.
Do I think I've seen as much as I can see?
See as much as you can see. You could probably make out that police car that's over at the far end.
And I didn't see any movement or anything around the semi itself.
No.
Is the door to the semi cab open?
No.
Okay.
Did we have enough eyes on this building to describe anything about it?
Get any more
Beyond the
information
fact
about
that it's a 4-story building with all of its windows punched out and the helicopter that's clearly crashed into the corner of
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I have yet to make an actual spot listen check as well.
It's okay.
So that's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any information, I mean, beyond what you've got in here, you're not looking through it the way that it was, and you have the binoculars.
Yeah.
The amount of information you could glean from a check.
Yeah, because it's dark and rainy. Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, I come back down, and you know, I'm just dripping at this point, and I give the binoculars back to Ben. I go, I saw maybe a small animal, but nothing infected. It's not to say they're not out there, but not that I could see. It's very dark, very wet. I don't think there's any better cover than what we have right now.
Being in the rail driver?
Yes, but we can't get moving again until we get rid of that semi. I still worry about this building.
No, understood.
Do we really want to try to spend the whole night camped here?
There's not much of the night left. It's only a couple of
Regardless,
hours.
I would really like to reinforce the back of that as best as we can. Right now, we just did some kind of jury rig something, but we got to get whatever we can up there, at least to slow something down. And if any more of those prairie dogs are out any this far, and that's all we've got, we're done.
Are we making a plan now?
Yeah, we're making a plan now.
Yeah.
All right, who's writing the plan on the board?
I haven't done it yet.
Do it.
Go
Yep.
get it,
I'm
man.
gonna write the plan. What's the plan?
The plan is we're going to quietly try and patch up the back while you keep watch.
Okay.
Okay, so Ray. Patching?
Yeah, I'll help you patch.
Okay.
Unless, actually, do you and Band-Aid want to patch? And I will keep watch from above with my handy long gun.
I mean, if it's something that takes like physical strength and stuff,
Yeah.
I can help a lot with that.
Can we also be collecting some rainwater?
Good call.
Yeah.
Tarp is good for that, too.
Yeah. We could just put a couple jugs outside. I mean, we'll basically have like the thing open.
I can take care of that.
But
Right.
we should keep talking and stuff to a minimum and very, very
Yeah.
low voices.
So maybe
You know.
So you're Crow's Nest.
I'm Crow's Nest. You two are on reinforcements, and he's on water collection?
Okay, and then Jenny, you're
Patching up the back.
patching, and Wraith too.
Wraith and Jenny are patching. Ray's looking through the crow's nest.
Yeah.
And
where's-
then
where's that
I'm
leave you?
collecting rainwater.
Great.
I don't know how to spell my name.
Can I try to use my stealth skill to basically help her to do this as quietly as possible?
To be fair, this is not a complicated job, although
Yeah.
patching it is essentially you're tying it down. That's what you're doing. You're not welding it. You're not trying to make anything permanent, right?
Just
Doing
as long as we can.
doing it quietly.
I mean, we're not just putting the tarp on, right? We're doing.
No. We're doing something to reinforce it, not just the tarp.
Yeah.
I see. Then yes, you could use stealth checks in order to help cover her, but again, stealth's mostly going to be for you, not for her.
Yeah.
You know, you can mitigate some failures just as with anything.
Okay.
But that's about as much as I'm willing to give at this stage.
Okay.
From the crow's nest, can I shoot, like, the part that's open?
Yes.
If I'm in the crow's nest.
You
is the
can't
part
see down where they are.
I can't see down where.
No.
There. Okay. Then that's not.
You can see around, but not down.
Okay.
Then it's time to do some construction engineering. Try to patch this thing back up.
Okay.
You're stealthing around. Maybe what you can also do too, Wraith, with your stealth is that you can scout out a little bit of the perimeter quietly so that you can see
Yeah.
things come quicker.
I mean, I'm not going more than 10 feet from the vehicle.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Still, it's 10 feet of visibility that you gain.
Yeah.
Okay? Band-aids, rainwater, no check required. You're collecting.
Cool.
So I'll just roll how much you get.
Very high.
Okay.
6.
6 rainwaters.
Well, no, what that just is going to mean
Delicious.
is that that's just, I'm basically giving you survival points
Cool.
in which
I'll
to use.
Take them.
Yep.
6 survival points.
6 survival points.
Use.
Well done.
Twice
Yes.
as much as we have.
Yeah. No, that's 106.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We're better off than you think.
Yeah, we're good.
Still not great, but
We don't have to eat each
So that's
other yet.
106 on top of what the rail driver has, right?
Correct.
Which is 167.
Correct.
All right, great. Let's see those construction engineering checks. And then for Wraith, let's see him snooping around.
Oh,
a
good
bit.
girl.
16, and yeah, I'm fine. I've got at least 2 degrees, maybe
2 degrees of
3,
success.
Yeah.
This is an easy patch job for you. Not an issue at all. Wraith, how did you do fare?
I have 3 successes
Great.
on my stealth. So I need 1 more from over there, and then.
So Wraith, as you are kind of not going far, but just keeping an eye out in the darkness so where you can keep Jenny in sight and then anything else that could be in front of you in sight, you are looking around and it's incredibly quiet. And out of the corner of your eye, you actually watch as something literally scuttles right by you.
It just moves quickly. And you turn around to see something crawling up into the back of the dumpster.
Crawling into the back of the dumpster.
To the back of the recycling vehicle, the garbage truck.
Okay. Did I get an idea of size?
Like a big dog. Huge. But it wasn't on the fours. It was definitely tall and moving, but it just ran right by you.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you're looking forward like this, and then you just, out of the corner of your eye, you just watch something. And then the next minute, as you basically turn around, you see something crawling on top of the garbage truck. That's to your right and up a little bit.
All right. So I whisper back to her, because she's the closest
Yeah.
to me, and I move back and I say, they're definitely out there. There's at least 1 on the truck.
Okay.
You've seen, if one of them sees us, it will call others.
Where's Band-Aid and Ray?
How much longer do you need on this?
I'm basically finished.
What do you think we should do?
I mean, I don't want to. Ray?
Are you guys talking down there?
Yes. We just saw something.
Is it one of them?
I can't be sure, but I suspect it is.
It's not an animal.
I got so much rainwater, you guys.
Band-Aid! Something is out there.
Infected by the garbage truck. Shit.
We don't know.
And if it saw us, it would have called by now. Right?
Who knows? But, I mean, the other times we've run into them, when there's been one, it calls others. But not all infected are the same.
All right. Jenny, how reinforced is that wall?
It's not going to hold up if we get swarmed.
But even if we do get swarmed, better to fight them with only 1 opening than to be out in the open.
True.
Should we hold our position until morning, until light?
I mean, we probably got, 1, 2 more hours
Yeah.
tops?
Can't be much.
Yeah. There's no way I want to fight these things in the dark.
Let's keep our pistols trained on the opening and just try to keep an eye out.
So you all go back into the rail driver after patching up the exterior and kind of wait looking at the garbage truck until dawn.
Looking at the opening.
Opening of the
In
garbage
case, yeah.
truck.
And I will
Yes.
and I will maintain the crow's nest for another view.
Okay, so if you're all waiting with guns pointed, several hours go by. It's now early morning dawn. As you can see, the rain has not let up.
Okay.
In fact, at some point, getting close to the part of dawn, you actually start to notice as water begins to creep through the bottom part of the patched up area of the sleeper car.
You had one job.
Hey, there's only so much a tarp can do.
Imagine if we'd not done this, how wet it would be.
I'm gonna go check out that truck.
The semi or the
yeah,
garbage
the
truck?
semi truck.
Okay.
Let's see if we can move it.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get it off the tracks.
You guys are going together?
Can anyone see, do we have a good vantage point to shoot at the semi from the crow's nest?
Yes, because the pillbox has basically 4 slits to shoot out of. So you can see in front of you, behind you, to the left, and to the right of you.
You want to trade guns again and I'll
Yeah,
keep an eye on
yeah,
it?
cover me.
Take mine.
Well, you're not going by yourself, so
Clearly.
I'll come with you too.
Where's my gun? Apparently I'm blind, but other than that, I'm fine.
Great.
Maybe better if I go with her.
We can both go.
Up to you.
Stay
You're the
here.
medic. I want you to stay with
All right.
the rail driver.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Stay here.
So, Wraith and Jenny, let's put your minis on the table
Okay.
and get you basically in front.
Before I leave, I look at Ray and I go, "You're going to cover me, right?
Did pretty good back in the canyon.
Or cover us, I mean."
So let me put you just on the corner, the very, very far corner that's facing me at the moment. I have you right here.
Let's have her face out in all her glory.
Yeah.
Not that.
Right.
Yes.
So, Wraith and Jenny, as you get up into this, the first thing that you notice is actually that every single one of the semi's tires have been slashed. And it's basically sitting on its axle at the moment. As you see, it's being weighed in. And now that the dawn light is slowly starting to kind of illuminate the area around you, you can actually see that you are, for all intents and purposes, in a little bit of a divot. The gravel that is meant to kind of keep a lot of the rails from flooding has been washed away in this area because there's mud and vegetation, and you're actually starting to see that the rails are being flooded quite a bit, and then the water is being lifted up. You actually, as you left the rail driver, you splashed down into knee-deep water as you came down.
So you're saying if we move the semi truck, we're still screwed.
Well, I'm saying that the semi-truck is not helping the fact that it's made a tiny little dam
Yeah.
in the area that you're in, and it is, in addition to blocking your path, it is also flooding your part of the rail quite a bit.
So we either gotta get it moving
So we need
fast.
to get it moving.
And it's going to be
Moving
really
fast.
difficult to get it moving, yeah.
Because it's all of its tires have been slashed.
So it's just on the wheels, but not on. Okay.
It's on the wheels.
But we could still.
Still roll it.
We could still. Yeah.
Yeah, you could roll it essentially this way if you can generate enough force in order to move it.
I need
You
something
know.
else for that. Like maybe that thing. Was it conveyed to us where he saw that creature?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
you
told-
saw,
I
you
told-
told
I
us
told
it went
you
in there,
by the
right? You
garbage
told
truck,
us it went in there, right? I'm gonna keep my sights trained on just in front of them, between them and that
Recycling truck?
recycling truck.
You see something very interesting, Ray, on top of that recycling truck. It's a rat. It's just hanging out on top of this truck. You watch as it has a little piece of something that it's chewing on.
It's totally like an eyeball or something.
It's either, yeah, it's
There's
either
nothing cute here.
no, because you
Pizza
saw a
rat.
full creature. Guys, we got signs of life. Or
It's just
you're
me in
just
here.
you, Band-Aid. We got signs of life out there.
Good
But it's-
life or a bad life?
Well, it depends on how much you like rats.
Eh,
I like them a lot better than the infected.
that's true.
All life is unpredictable.
I want to know what's in there. Am
Yeah.
I able? I don't want want to shout down to them.
Well, I mean, are we going to come back and convey this information
Yeah.
of
Come
what,
back.
what you checked out?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
see, we have unresolved success
I
from
do
what?
have some success from when I
We
was
used the patch job.
the patch.
Oh, yeah, well, the two would have finished the patch job
okay.
in a very good way. The three would have made sure that nothing was seen.
Okay.
So those were still when it was night.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And the darkness was there. But the good news is that none of that is around. Although, to be fair, there is still that container that Band-Aid found, but he's the only one who really has knowledge of that at the moment. So.
Okay.
Guys, there's something in that truck. I don't know if it's garbage. I don't know if it's dead bodies. I don't know if it's whatever creature you saw in there. But it's very interesting to load.
Because you did get some degrees of success, and degrees of success should always be rewarded, you did see a large kind of drinking thermos, like a large container.
Okay.
That was braced up against part of the wall. That definitely looks like it's scavengeable, if you'd like to take the time, effort, and energy to find out what's in it. But
Yes.
you'd have to go and put
Where is it?
search. It was inside of the semi-truck.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Which part of it? The cab?
The cap. If you want to bring the container back with you, then you can just keep it in the rail driver until you're ready.
I don't know if that's super important to me right now.
That's fine.
I think I want to just come back to the real
She's
driver.
like, I'm bringing it with me.
Yeah, you can,
No, it's fine. If you're not interested, then there's no reason. So, great.
I just, what if it's full of like acid or something?
What did you find out about the semi?
All right. It's fairly recent, and all the tires are slashed, and it's basically creating a dam, and so the water. The tracks are flooding. They're
Guys,
flooded.
this could be crazy pants, but what the heck, so is the rest of this world. What if whoever drove that thing to where it is inside that trash truck?
or the building,
With the windows shot out like that?
maybe.
Yeah, or the trailer of the semi.
That too.
I just feel like you've seen a few that we've seen a rat and whatever the little creature was that you said climb into the back of that thing, right?
Yeah.
So what if they're foraging whatever's in there?
Whoever put this truck over these tracks wanted it to block the tracks.
Clearly.
That can't be good.
No.
Are you thinking like it's a trap?
Yes, intended to stop us, make us get out.
But nobody knows that these rails are in use. Like nobody knows that a rail driver would be coming.
Why
through.
else would they block it?
Yeah, I think it was
someone
Why else
knows,
would they
coincidence.
slash the
unless
tires
someone
and
knows
leave it
about
here?
this mission that we don't know about.
That's true, but I think that they could be unrelated. They could have been parked there and later the tires slashed. Regardless, I think that the water might actually be helping us out in this situation if we want to move it, because the axles on the wheels will still move regardless of whether they're inflated or not. It's just going to be more difficult.
Let's
just
do
move
this.
it. Let's just move
All
this
right,
thing.
I'm gonna try and move it, and
You're gonna move it by trying to open the cab up. And
I am gonna open the cab up.
Let's check and see if it's trapped first. Someone
call.
might have left booby traps of some sort on the semi.
Yes.
All right.
I'll stick around and keep my eyes
Cover.
on you all.
I
I'll
want you to cover
all.
us.
Yeah.
So Jenny,
Hold down the fort.
as
I'm going with her,
going
and
back
I'm-
with her.
you know, I'm
so the
basically
minis
like-
can stay where they're at. Great.
Yeah.
As you get back towards the cab, you can see that the keys aren't there. It doesn't seem to be booby trapped at all. But it's actually an interesting thing. As you're looking around, you can see several wires are laid out with rattling cans attached to them. Noise traps, very subtle. Essentially, you can see a couple of fine lines. One that's actually right above you. So even though you opened it up and went there, you can see where one used to be there, but it was trimmed and disarmed already. And at that point, you look around and see that there are several other of these rattling can traps that are just kind of scattered at various places across this area.
Guys, I feel like this is someone like
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. There's
Who
someone.
wants to
There's
know?
someone
Work with the
here.
infected.
There's someone
Well,
here.
clearly, yeah, no, but I mean, I feel like this is someone like us who wants to know we're here if anyone dangerous is here. Question is,
Are they dangerous? Well, let's find out.
well, let's not.
So the car, as you go down to pull the hot wire, you can see that all the wires have been cut already.
we just gotta,
Of the noise trap.
No,
no, of the actual.
the hot wire.
Yeah.
There's no hot wiring happening.
Yeah, someone already took a knife, clearly, and then just cut all the wires, as if they already thought ahead.
So this truck is not going to be driving off the tracks. Okay.
Would you like to spend a competence point to get a little bit of extra knowledge about what's going on the rail driver that could help you?
What
Part of your engineering.
Because I think we get new competence points for everything.
Ah, that's
Correct.
right. Yes.
Okay,
We should
then-
be getting
you're
a
right.
Yeah,
competence
I
point
would
every
like to
instance.
spend
Do
a competence.
So one of the things that you remembered requisitioning, and it's in my list here, is a bunch of steel cable that you put on because there was potentially going to be a situation like this where you're going to have to tow or move something across this line. And you know that the rail driver has enough steam in it that it could potentially act as a small tugboat, so to speak, in order to either push something out of the way or pull it out of the way, depending on what you would like to do.
Let's pull it. Like, I wonder if we pulled it. I don't know. I'm worried about driving it into that flood of water.
Yeah, it's definitely, the rain's still going. It's not as torrented as it was earlier, so you can see through the morning light, but it's definitely enough to where the water is continuing to rise.
Yeah, let's get that thing out of the way
Yeah,
one way or
yeah.
the other.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna start hooking up cables.
Okay, so what's everyone else doing?
I can provide cover from closer if that's safer while their backs
Yeah.
are turned.
I'm staying probably maybe about 15 feet from her while she does things with the cables, and I'm just constantly like looking around for any sort of movement or any of that sort of stuff.
You know what?
Listening.
I'm gonna open my box. I have this box that
What's
I
in the
haven't,
box?
haven't opened.
You're not
I'm
under
doing
any
anything.
particular time constraint, so yeah, you can
Yeah.
open the box. Inside, what do you see?
I see key, lockpick, hacksaw, bolt cutters. So it's like.
Oh,
a-
that's how if you open it. That's
Oh,
just
this
how
is
you
the
open it.
actual
That's
box?
the container. That's just to hide everything
That
that's
is
in
the
it.
box.
Loose batteries, scavenge, 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 which are all worth survival points.
Now they're worth for bartering, though.
For
you have to
bartering.
barter them out.
Razor blades, more scavenge.
And a journal.
A journal.
February 21st,
2026. I've reached my limit. No one at the company realizes the difference we could make out here. Columbia is cushioned and safe, but there's a whole world still on fire. Nathan closed the sale expanding infrastructure in St. Louis. It would net 500,000 credits, but also means bulldozing homes for our factory. Is that who we are? Who we want to be? April 12th, 2026. It's the West. That's where the future is. We've got word that Chicago's transit bridge has gone out. This cuts off a vital resource line to the frontier. I pitched developing a new line running out toward Kansas City, but no one went for it until Nathan, of all people, convinced them. We can build a life for everyone, if we can make it safe. June 18th, 2026. The end of our first day on the front. Took some licks, but that's how it goes out here. I'm not sure what to make of the crew. They're a colorful bunch. Jenny's a team player. I appreciate that. Ray keeps things on the level. God knows what Wraith is all about. But my biggest concern is Band-Aid. He's got a sarcastic veneer, and I can tell he's hiding something. But in a pinch, he's really come through. Honestly, I like them, but can I trust them with the real reason for the mission? Not yet. Maybe soon. I guess we'll see.
That seems to be it.
Can I have the code, though?
Yes.
It looks like he really had a heart.
I have more than that.
He had vision.
So, Jenny, are we pulling this thing?
Yeah.
So after heating the boiler back up, which I'm sure has been pretty constant, I'm assuming you haven't turned it off since late last night, right? It's been burning a little bit of fuel. But as you start to ramp this thing up, you can start to hear the groans of the cables as they begin to pull, and you can hear the metal just kind of pressing against it. You can actually start to see a small piece of mud just sliding. Yes.
I went back up, by the way.
Great. And back up.
I went back up.
As you see this thing slide, you can basically watch as it starts to come towards you and then tip. Poof. And you can hear as the grinding, crunching kind of just slams against the bottom of it as it starts to pivot along the side. And you watch as that movement slightly jostles the building as it begins to precariously kind of move and poise around. Very shortly after that, a few beats, you actually hear as a door just boom, kicks down as a large man with wild hair and a beard and a plaid jacket on comes out into the middle of the street.
What the fuck was that?